How to Woo Your Lady in 9 Easy Steps. Last chapter, Step 9. Now that you've successfully completed one date with the mare of your dreams, it's time to up the ante. You must ensure that you continue to date. Going on a single date is not your ultimate goal, Stallion. Yes, it's a major milestone, but your dream is more. The mare you may wish to spend the rest of your life with. You need to play it for the long haul. Therefore, the final chapter of this book will discuss how to go about securing the second date, if not more. The entire 9-step process will have been useless if that final step is overlooked. You must get your mare to agree on another date, and then another, and yet another after that. Become a forward thinker. Carefully lay down the groundwork for a long-term, permanent romantic relationship. You will not be sorry. This does require additional work on your part, but remember, you have already come this far. Have faith that you can accomplish Step 9, and read on without fear. Spike pulled out his bow tie. He wore the one Rarity made him, along with his black jacket from the Grand Calvin Gala. He had hoped Rarity wouldn't think he was underdressed. He didn't have much else, but it would be fancier than those clothes, anyway. Unless he really did go for a full-on Calvin Gala outfit. I fear if he did that, he looked too formal, and then Rarity might be wondering if she was trying to turn this into a date. Which he was rapidly realizing it already looked like. His panicking train of thought was cut off when Rarity opened the door. "Hello, Spike," Rarity said. "Hi, Rarity." Spike's jaw dropped wide open. For a moment he couldn't help but gawk. The setting sun made it just dark enough so that Rarity was backlit in her shop doorway, with the lights inside, giving her an ethereal glow. Rarity was always beautiful, but this night she was gorgeous. "Okay, Spike, keep it together. You've been doing good so far today. Don't blow it now by gaping so long you start to drool." He quickly shut his mouth. "Shall we get going then?" Spike asked, swallowing. "Yes, let's," Rarity replied, stepping out gracefully. Her dress floated along just above the ground, almost like a shimmering cloud. Spike concentrated on keeping his eyes forward and walking straight. "I've never been to Chase Delicious before. Have you?" he asked, striking up conversation. "Oh, once or twice," Rarity said. Well, it doesn't matter who it was with. It was a while ago." Spike didn't know how to exactly reply to that. "Oh, well, how was it?" he finally asked, hoping he didn't sound too awkward. "The food and atmosphere was simply exquisite," Rarity replied. "It's wonderful to have a chance to go back, especially with such an agreeable dining companion." Spike looked up at Rarity, relieved. "She's happy to go back, and she's happy I'm going with her." Rarity smiled down at him, and his relief faltered. It may have been his imagination, but her smile seemed sad somehow. There was something in her eyes. "Rarity?" Spike started, tilting his head. "Is everything okay?" "Everything is fine, Spike," she said. Spike suddenly realized what was off. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. There was no telltale crinkle at their edges. It wasn't a real smile at all. "You're sure?" Spike asked, double-checking. "Yes," Rarity replied. But it was painfully obvious that everything was not fine. Not by a long shot. "Let's just enjoy tonight, okay?" Her voice sounded a little strange, but she kept up the smile anyway. "Okay," Spike said, slowly, not really sure what else to say. They continued walking, and Spike's nerves grew. She's had a good time today, hasn't she? She's not mad anymore, is she? She must see how sorry I am. I'm doing my best to fix things. What could she be upset about?" "Sim," Rarity began. "Any idea if the cakes have sold any of our cupcakes today?" Spike shook his head. "I haven't talked to them, or to Pinky. I'm sure at least yours sold." "Oh, I'm sure yours were selling today, too," Rarity said. Spike hung his head as he walked, remembering his mess of a job. "Yeah, maybe they gave customers enough of a discount." Rarity laughed, and Spike's spirits lifted. He glanced over at her, and finally saw the real smile he'd been waiting for. "Maybe things aren't as bad as you thought." "Seriously," Spike continued, gaining some confidence. "They'll have to like to buy one, get 3 for a free sale just to get rid of them." Rarity continued now. "Spike, I think you're being a little harsh on yourself." "I don't think I'm being harsh enough," Spike said. "I bet they didn't even put a price on them. They probably could have just given them away as fast as they could. Those cupcakes were a disaster." "Oh, Spike," Rarity shook her head. "Just need more practice, that's all." Chase Ulysses was straight ahead by that point, and they walked towards the restaurant's as hostess together. Yeah, maybe we could go back sometime and frost more cupcakes then, Spike suggested hopefully. Rarity's elegant stride was broken by his frequent stumbles. What would be nice? There it was again. Spike frowned. Something is bothering her, but what? Before he could ask, the hostess spoke up. Good evening, the opera man's simplicity. Do you have reservations? Yes, Spike replied, sipping it. Part you too? To be under Spike? Oh, yes. The hostess smiled. There you are. Classy will send you to your table. A waiter trotted over, using unicorn magic to levitate 2 menus by his side. Good evening. My name is Classy Prestige. Welcome to Shay's Delicious. I will be your waiter this evening. Please follow me, he said, bowing slightly. Okay, Spike said. Why does this place feel like it's trying a little too hard to be candlelit? They walked through the candlelit tables, past several pairs of dining ponies, all dressed extremely elegantly. Waiters and waitresses moved around gracefully, pausing only to inquire after how their guests were doing. Spike straightened up. Even when they lived in Caroline, he and Twilight didn't go to any of his fancy events. Still, though, he had some idea how to act. They paused upon reaching their table set for 2. Waiter pulled out a soft pillow, and Spike waited for Rarity to have a seat on it before he sat down himself across from her. May I start out with some refreshments? The waiter asked. His thin mustache bobbed up and down as he spoke. Spike looked at Rarity. What would you like? Nothing fancy, she replied. Whatever you order would be fine, sir. You choose, Spike insisted. Well, all right then, Rarity said. We'll take a bottle of sparkling cider. Chili, please. A fine choice, Classy replied. He notated a menu to each of them. Our 2 specials tonight are grilled sunflower seeds and a slow-roasted heathergrass roll, as well as our signature shredded carrot platter of hayseed axes. The soup to tour is our cream and strawberry rhubarb. For dessert, we are featuring our famous honeysuckle pastries and a cocoa fudge cake topped with a wheat crunch. Please take your time in deciding. After Classy left, Spike flipped away to his menu and Rarity did the same. Of course, there wasn't anything with gemstones. There never was. Spike slowed slightly where he sat. He looked up at Rarity to see if she decided on anything. Surprised her staring straight back at him. As soon as their eyes met, Rarity looked away quickly. So, what are you thinking of getting? She asked, hiding her face behind the menu. Well, Spike hadn't really decided. The shredded carrot platter sounds alright. That's supposed to be the signature dish and all. Maybe I'll get that. You want to start out with an appetizer? That sounds nice. How about baked artichoke? Rarity suggested. Her face was still hidden as Spike sighed. Yeah, he said. That works. Classy came back, and they placed their orders. The waiters took the menus away, leaving Rarity without anything to hide behind anymore. She looked so sad. Spike furrowed his eyebrows. What could be wrong? Perhaps he realized her expression, because he suddenly changed it. His face smile returned. Featherside really has come a long way with her broad choir, Rarity sighed. It's been ages since I've been able to hear them perform, and he just keep improving, does he think? She didn't even wait for Spike to answer. Of course, some pony and I Featherside guiding them. It's no wonder they become so talented. I mean, really, it's this wonderful way with woodland creatures that no pony could ever help to emulate. Those birds are some of the luckiest in all of Equestria. I'm sure they know it, Rarity rambled. Is she nervous? Spike continued, trying to figure the acorn out. She's acting like it, but why? Did you hear tell them that she put out extra birdseed for them today? Such a dear. I simply must think of a venue for her to show off their quarters to more ponies. Though, Featherside being Featherside, of course, will likely be against the idea of Disney. But she'll just have to explain to her that the birds would love this house to show off of how to come along. Rarity? Spike interrupted. The baked artichoke had arrived, and Spike noticed an alarm that Rarity was having trouble lifting a piece toward her plate. Her whole body seemed to be shivering. Rarity? Spike interrupted. The baked artichoke had arrived, and Spike noticed an alarm that Rarity was having trouble levitating a piece of it towards her plate. Her whole body seemed to be shivering. See that? Yes, Spike, Rarity asked. What is it? Rarity, you're shaking, Spike had to point it out. You know you can tell me there's something wrong, don't you? Rarity tensed up from across the table. There's nothing wrong, Spike. Yes, there is, Spike said. was getting tired of evading the issue, whatever it may be. Just tell me what's wrong. Maybe I can help. Unless the problem's me, Spike gulped. Then I don't know what really I would do. Rarity sighed. Oh, Spike. She was quiet for a moment. Spike stayed quiet too. She eventually spoke up again. I had a lovely time today, and we... Yes, Spike prompted. Yorkron looked down. I want to say thank you, Rarity said softly, and that you're forgiven for everything. I can see now you really do care. Well, Rarity, Spike stared at her. I don't know what to say. He really didn't. He'd been waiting for her forgiveness all day, but now he had it. It just didn't feel right. But, and there it was. But, she had more to say. Spike couldn't help but get the feeling he wouldn't like it. Yes, Spike asked reluctantly. Crossing his fingers, it wasn't anything too bad. Rarity looked off to the side. We can't ever do this again. Spike's heart jolted to a stop. The day has been amazing, and I loved every moment. But we simply cannot make a habit of it. Spike opened his mouth, trying to find the words. Wait, why? He asked, finally getting at least one thought out. If you had a good time, then I don't understand. Why? Rarity shrank back, looking terribly miserable. Because if we keep this up, police will start thinking that we're more than just friends. They will? Spike asked. Is that so bad? Look around us, Spike. Rarity pointed out. Spike did as he was told. It was that every single table was set out for two. And at every table was a happy pony couple dining together. Yeah, I'm seeing Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash. I'm seeing Caramel and Applejack, Twilight of West Century, and Lyra and Bonbon, and Trixie put down the gun. Oh, Spike said. I see. He dropped his shoulders, crestfallen. Yes, Rarity continued. After tonight, we really must go back to just spending time together in a strictly friendly sense. Just as you would with any other pony. We probably shouldn't be alone together with any frequency. We should refrain from treating each other in any sort of special way. For instance, if you feel like doing something nice for me, let's stop and think. Would you do the same for Piggy Pie, or Rainbow Dash, or... But I wouldn't, Spike interrupted. Now he was shaking. I wouldn't do the same, because you are special. You're different, Rarity. You mean a lot to me, and more than just a friend. I know, Spike, Rarity said quietly. But... Don't say it. I know. Trust me, I know that by now. Spike shut his eyes, unable to look at her as the truth he always feared bubbled to the surface. I don't mean more than that to you. No, Spike. No, that's alright. Spike swallowed. He took a deep breath and opened his eyes back up. I understand you always see me as a friend. I guess what I don't understand is why we can't spend time together anymore. Away from other ponies. Why can't we do things like today? You had fun. You said you did. Spike realized he was sounding desperate. Shut himself off. Rarity remained silent for a moment. Spike, this isn't easy for me either. But if we keep treating each other in special ways, that is, if we keep spending extra time together, other ponies wouldn't see this as a friendship. I mean, really, look at us right now. All dressed up, in a fancy restaurant. But I like treating you special! Spike burst out, just before he could stop himself. Rarity didn't answer. Instead, she stared at the table. Spike dug his claws into his legs, doing his best to hold back tears. She doesn't like you. Twilight was right all along. She just sees you as a friend. There's no chance for you to be together. He took several raggedy breaths. Come on, Spike. You knew from the beginning how little of a chance you had at winning her over. That's why you got that book in the first place. And then the book messed it up. Spike set his shoulders as he remembered their daring together been originally about. At least you managed to salvage your friendship. Alright. Spike brought was back under control. Time to grow up, Spike. Not in a green way this time. I guess if being friends is what you really want, then that's what I'll do. He released his hold on his legs and folded his hands to stop her shaking. I suppose when it comes down to it, I'd rather have you in my life a little than have you upset with me forever. As he spoke, his heart crumbled in his chest, but he knew it had to be said. Rarity smiled a little. Thank you, Spike. You are a true friend. Yeah, I know. Spike looked away. The main course arrived, and Spike poked his fork at the shredded carrots, unable to muster the enthusiasm to try and take a bite. So he sighed. I guess it would have been better all around if I hadn't tried teaching anything from us from the start. What do you mean? Rarity asked, tilting her head. I mean, this stupid book I ordered. It's called Spike Plus. Well, it doesn't matter what it's called, but those steps I was following came from. Let me taste the way I acted around you to try to get you to like me back. Well, all it did was making you upset. And now, just back to where we were before. At least we will be after tonight. Yes, after tonight, Rarity replied. Covered his imagination, or trick out the candlelight. So Spike he saw her eyes swimming. Spike pushed his stare to his plate. Stop being desperate. Seriously, just accept it for what it is. It's okay. It really is. It's pretty foolish to think you ever go for a guy like me. Just happy you at least ignored today, and in some ways, we can still get time together. Even if this with the whole group. Spike took a deep breath. I'm glad I'm not losing you completely. So am I, Rarity whispered. They ate the rest of their meal in silence. One step closer, one step closer. Rarity repeated the words over and over in her mind, with every hoof step she took towards her stop. Spike had insisted on walking her home after dinner, was only served to extend the evening of awkward silence. All in all, the dragon was taking the news better than she thought he would. Rarity had to admit, a part of her had been a little concerned that he might go all giant rampage monster again, but he was actually quite calm. He even put a positive spin on the situation. He's taking it better than you are, a voice inside Rarity's head pointed out. She shushed it, raising her head up loftily. So, this is it, Spike said as they arrived at Carousel Boutique. Yes, Rarity replied. This is it, isn't it? Spike shuffled awkwardly on his feet. The moonlight provided just enough light for Rarity to notice that the dragon's eyes were watering ever so slightly. Her lower lip began to tremble, as she knew she had to get inside before her own waterworks started up. I just wanted to say thanks, Spike said, for giving me a chance to prove myself today, and for staying my friend. I'll try not to make anything, weird with us. Thank you, Spike, Rarity said softly. You'll be treated just like the others. I'll do my best. I will. Spike promised, looking up Rarity into her eyes. I know. Rarity's eyebrows knit together. Thank you again for reminding me how lucky I am to have a friend like you in my life. Spike nodded. They nodded and looked at each other for another moment. This is it. Rarity felt tears start her eyes. After this moment, we're just friends. And Spike won't ever look at me this way ever again. My breath came quicker as Spike blinked at her sadly. Good night, Rarity, he said, his voice sounding a little hoarse. Rarity opened her mouth to say good night in return, but nothing came out. Instead she stood, staring at the dragon in silence. Since when did a simply good night became so hard to say? Since it became a goodbye. A tear split down her cheek. Spike shoved his hands into the jacket pockets and turned away, clearly giving up and waiting for a reply. I'll see you around, he said, then left. Rarity watched him go, as tear after tear continued to trickle from her eyes. Why are you crying? You got what you wanted. Spike showed you how much he cares, proved he wasn't the jerk you were scared he might have become. You would agree to keep everything between the two of you just as casual between friends. You got what you wanted. It's gonna stop treating you special. You got what you wanted. There you see him, sitting there across the way. He don't got a lot to say, but there's something about him. You don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the Drake. Yes, you want him. Look at him, you know you do. It's possible he wants you to. There's only one way to ask him. It don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the Drake. Kiss the Drake. Sa-la-la-la, my oh my, looks like the girl's too shy. Ain't gonna kiss the Drake. Sa-la-la-la-la, ain't that sad? It's just a shame, too bad. You're gonna miss the Drake. Come on and kiss the Drake. Now's your moment, floating in a blue lagoon. Girl, you better do it soon. No time will be bailer. He don't say a word, he won't say a word until you kiss the Drake. Kiss the Drake. Sha-la-la-la, my oh my. Looks like the girl's too shy. Ain't gonna kiss the Drake. Sha-la-la-la, ain't that sad? It's just a shame, too bad. You're gonna Mr. Drake. Sha-la-la-la-la, don't be scared, you better be prepared. Go on and kiss the Drake. Sha-la-la-la-la, don't stop now. Don't try to hide it, how you're gonna kiss the Drake. Go on and kiss the Drake. Kiss the Drake. Oh, oh, oh. Go on and kiss the Drake. Kiss the Drake. La 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 la. Go on and kiss the Drake. La 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 la. Go on and kiss the Drake. Sha la la la. My oh my. Looks like the girls too shy ain't gonna kiss the Drake. Sha la la la. It's a shame. Too bad you're gonna miss the Drake. I already said out loud, to no point in particular. She was alone. The night was silent. I can't believe. She couldn't finish the sentence. A sob escaped her. Rarity collapsed against the door, tears flowing drearily. Her dress billowed down around her as she sank to the ground. I don't want this, Rarity choked out. She buried her hair under her hooves, blocking the starlight from her eyes. Hi! Starlight, get out of here! Sorry. Oh dear Celestia, I don't want this at all. Rarity gasped for air between each sob. Everything she had been fighting, each hit she purposely shoved aside and ignored, it all came flying back to her in that moment. What was I thinking? What have I been doing? Rarity asked, blinking rapidly to push away the tears. Her blue dress lay around her in bunches. Rarity felt like it was melting away into a puddle of her own eyes. They floated around her, taunting her. The lies she had been telling herself for a long while now. The lies she told to avoid the feelings she hadn't prepared to face. The lies that had kept her at a nice, safe distance from the dragon and its terrifying fountains of emotions for her. Worst part of it all was, deep down, some part of her knew exactly what she had been doing. That's where the lies had come from, the excuses. They came from inside her. But why? Rarity pinched her eyes tightly, tears leaking from her sides. She couldn't remember why. Had she ever had a reason? Had it just been her own pride? Or had she been greedy? She took and took and took from Spike. What had he ever supposed to give? Rarity's heart ached inside her. Oh, Spike, there's never been any pony like you in my life, and I've gone and... Rarity sniffed loudly. I've gone to push you away. Why? Rarity sobbed, burying her head even further. The night remained silent. You're only yourself to blame, her inner voice accused. Spike, he made it so easy just to take. But the moment he asked for something in return... Another sob escaped Rarity. She squeezed her hose together against her head, as if pushing hard enough she'd be able to squash out the anguish. It's terrible. Don't leave me, Spike! Rarity begged, her voice muffled in the ground. I know I've messed everything up, but please, don't leave. A voice dropped to a whisper. She found herself hoping that Spike was still near, perhaps around the edge of the shop. Maybe he heard everything. It would come up with her off the ground and... Rarity looked up, blinking tears away. Spike wasn't there. Of course he wasn't there. What had she been thinking? Rarity took a deep breath and dragged herself upright. All right, she said to herself. You made a mistake. This isn't... She shook her head rapidly. You can fix this. You can make this better. You just need to go to Spike and tell him you changed your mind. I'm not... Her eyes widened. I'm not you do like him more than a friend. At that thought, Rarity scrambled above her shop door open and darted inside. Once in, she slammed the door taut and leaned up against it, her heart flaring in chest. Talking to Spike. How was he even supposed to go about that? What would he say? Hi, Spike. Sorry about this evening. Turns out I actually do want to be more than friends, and all those things I said at dinner was just me trying to convince myself I didn't see you that way. Silly, isn't it? I know. And yes, it would have been much nicer for you if you had just come to these conclusions earlier, rather than hunting you so badly this evening. I do apologize ever so much. Rarity groaned. It all sounded terrible. But somehow, she had to find just the right words. She was the one who had to fix things now. Rarity sunk to her soft floor. Emotion was weighing her down. It was late. Perhaps if she slept for the night, she'd have a better grasp on things in the morning. Spike rolled over in bed, blinking his eyes slowly. The sun was up. It was morning. He had done it. He actually managed to fall asleep at some point. He wasn't sure how, but that wasn't important. What was important, he stood a far better chance of getting through the day now that he had some sleep behind him. Last night had been awful. Spike had come home to find Twilight waiting up for him. She asked how things went, and he broke it down, explaining everything, reliving it all. His cheeks burned just remembering it. You're such an idiot. Think you Rarity would ever like you.
Spike climbed out of bed, heading downstairs.
It's time to put that behind you and move on, just like you promised. Come on now, one foot in front of the other.
See, he didn't make it halfway down the steps before he slumped down in his sitting position. Desperation called out.
But she's Rarity. How the name is Celestia could I ever move on?
Spike curled up into a ball, squeezing his eyes shut. Maybe he should just give up. Live his life on the stairs of the library. Wasn't so bad there. It was mildly comfortable, and even if Rarity visited, she never went up the library stairs, so he could forget about her in peace. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Alright, so Rarity never went up the stairs, but somebody else did. All the time, Spike opened one eye to crack, saw a purple hover in front of his face. Twilight, she found him. Hey, Spike, Twilight said gently, not even a sigh. I know things are rough for you, but I don't think sleeping on the stairs is going to help you any.
Spike sighed. I'm not sleeping, I'm just hanging out here, I guess.
Right, Twilight said. She sat down next to him. Can I hang out here then, too?
Sure, Spike said,
resting his chin on his hands in a moment, his elbows on his knees. Spike there. They waited for a moment. The Twilight spoke up again. Sorry, Spike. I know no matter what you said last night about being okay with just being friends, you're upset that Rarity doesn't like you back. I am glad you're choosing to concentrate on the positive. I know being just friends doesn't seem like a much right now. Spike shook his head.
No, it's actually a lot. I mean, I was scared of losing her completely. At least this way, I'll get to see her.
He sighed again. That's very mature of you, Spike, Twilight replied. She went quiet again, but only briefly. She hesitated for a moment before continuing. Wasn't sure how you'd be doing. I thought you needed some consoling this morning, so I invited a few ponies over.
Spike looked up sharply. Who exactly did you...
The sound of the front door slamming open interrupted Spike's sentence.
We're here! And we brought cake and ice cream and all sorts of goodies for your okay, so Rarity only likes you as a friend, but that's better than hating you for always any party!
Vicky's unmistakably hyper voice sounded throughout the library. Spike tipped his head, holding it a groan.
Twilight!
Trust me, Spike. Twilight stood up, helping him to his feet. This'll help you feel better. Spike reluctantly followed Twilight down the stairs to find Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Applejack all gathered in the library.
Hi, every pony, Spike said,
not even bothered to attempt enthusiasm.
So I guess you all heard. Thanks for coming.
We're all sorry to hear you're upset, Spike,
Fluttershy said.
We just couldn't leave you all your sad thoughts through all day,
Applejack added.
So we're here to cheer you up,
Pinkie said, jumping up and down. Firing just some sort of party cracker his way. Spike was showering confetti. Didn't do much to improve his mood.
Hey, you want to give me that dumb book of yours?
Rainbow Dash asked, flying towards Spike.
I could go drop it from a ridiculously incredible height into a lake full of alligators. Or a volcano, or some pointy rocks, or whatever.
So he acted it out with one of Twilight's larger encyclopedias, dropping it from the ceiling to the floor with a loud thunk.
Hey now!
Twilight frowned. Yanking her encyclopedia away magically. We treat books with respect around here, even the ones we dislike.
Fine.
Take all the fun out of things. Rainbow Dash harumphed. Besides, it wasn't like I was planning on using it with me and Flutters anyway.
What was that? Nothing!
Spike was sore glad Twilight intervened, because he considered taking Rainbow Dash up on her offer. But something about it bothering him. He couldn't quite put his claw on it. Speaking of that book, though, Twilight said, she levitated a small slip of paper over, about the size of a postcard. I found this in the back of it. It's the form you fill out if you weren't satisfied with results. You can always get your money back, Spike. Spike took the card from Twilight and reading it over. He forgot about that promise. The book promised positive results or a full refund. All the ponies gathered around him to get a closer look at it. So, you're gonna get your ask for your money back? Applejack asked. I would. Spike tapped his claws on his card, thinking,
I don't know.
The thing that had been bothering him was becoming clear.
I don't think it'd be fair. It's not Miss Fox's fault that this all got messed up. It's my fault. I tried to push Rarity to feel things he didn't feel, and I used some pretty dishonest tricks to do it. It's not like Smooth Socks made me follow those steps. It was all my fault, all along.
He dropped his hands to his side, still gripping the postcard in one hand.
Right now, I'd rather just forget all this, Spike confessed. Filling this out, sending in, getting a refund. They would just drag it out. I just want to put this whole thing behind me.
Twilight pounded him on the back. That's a fine decision to make, Spike. Just let us know how we can help you. Spike looked up at each of his friends in return. Thanks. Pinkie Pie started to try his face.
So, do we get to our party now?
Spike smiled.
Yeah, sure.
Woohoo!
Pinkie shouted. Fully set up party hats from out thin air and popping each one of their heads.
Here we go!
Time for Spike to
Buck up and remember the fun things in life.
Spike began setting up its punch bow. There's a knock on the door. Twilight frowned. Now who could that be at this early in the morning? Did anybody here invite anybody else? She looked around. They all shook their heads, except Pinkie.
I invited Gummy, but it will conflict with his scuba lessons, so he wouldn't come.
Spike bit his lower lip.
Could it be? No, why would she be here?
Twilight walked over to open up the door. Rarity stood outside the library, hoping her knock wouldn't go unanswered. It didn't. Taking a few moments, but eventually Twilight opened the door a crack. Hello? Twilight peered out. Oh, hi, Rarity. I wasn't expecting you. Rarity swallowed. Good morning, Twilight, she said, doing her best to compose her. Is Spike in? She winced. Her voice was higher than usual, as it got when she tensed up. Maybe Twilight wouldn't notice.
Is that Rarity?
Rarity heard Pinkie Pie gasp from inside the library. A second later, the pink pony had slid the library door wide open, knocking Twilight out of the way. It is Rarity! Rainbow Dash shouted, and Rarity blinked. All of her friends were gathered in the library, in party hats, with Spike in the middle, covered in confetti. Are they celebrating all this? Rarity's jaw dropped open. Rarity, I can explain what's going on, Twilight said quickly. Slareth. Rarity started to cave her mouth, shaking her head. She expected to find Twilight and Spike alone, perhaps sitting quietly talking things over, possibly seeing even Spike crying. But this? She had no idea what to do with this. Everything she planned on saying, well, now, it's quite all right, Twilight, Rarity said. She just had to adapt. Besides, she had a stinking suspicion Pinkie was behind the festive atmosphere anyway, judging by Spike's less enthusiastic expression. I really would just like a moment with Spike, if that's all right with you. Every pony nodded slowly, and Spike stepped forward.
Yes?
Yes, nervously fiddling with some piece of paper in his hand. Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, and Fluttershy all stepped closer, ears perked up. Rarity took a deep breath. Perhaps we can talk in private? She asked, hoping her friends would get the hint. Pinkie Pie narrowed her eyes.
Okay, you heard the lady. Let's get out of here. Everybody, move!
She began ushering them all out the front door, pushing each pony past Rarity. Rarity jostled to one side, trying to avoid getting run into, but then,
Oof!
Rarity exclaimed as Pinkie Pie booted her into the library.
Here you go,
The pink pony said.
it's on your private talk.
Rarity flushed, and Pinkie slammed the door shut, leaving her alone with Spike. Pinkie's giggles were the last noise she heard from her friends, before the library was completely silent. Rarity straightened up, trying to remember what she had rehearsed the night before.
Hello, Spike.
She began. Good, you got the first line. Now for the next one. But then Rarity froze. She couldn't remember the next one.
Hey, Rarity,
Spike replied. Rarity couldn't even keep her eyes on his face. The snoring tackling party had been stared back at her, binding her brain with a nauseating array of crisscrossing neon stripes. Rarity stared at it, blinking.
Could you, that is to say, would you mind taking that hat off just for a moment?
Oh,
Spike reached up and tucked the party hat on his head.
sure.
Rarity's shoulders relaxed.
That's better.
She said. Buzz went. She still couldn't remember anything she had rehearsed, even without the silly hat in the picture.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Spike asked. Rarity's mouth was dry.
I wanted to talk about things.
About yesterday?
Spike asked. Rarity nodded.
Well, yes, that and more. Spike,
It was no use. Her words were all jumbled by that point. She sighed, and hid her head staring at the door.
Okay, Rarity, you came here for a reason. Time to give something back. This is Spike offers so much for you, darling. See, the thing is, Spike.
Rarity began, her courage building as she recalled all the generous things her dragon had done for her.
I really did enjoy yesterday and other days. Anytime we're together, I like spending time with you. I've come to realize that I really like spending time with you, more than anybody else. So, I guess what I'm saying is...
Spike's breath caught in his throat. Scarcely allowed himself to believe where Rarity was going with her little speech.
Is that you...
Rarity heard outside, pausing for a moment.
Spike, I was wondering if you'd like to go out with lunch for me today.
Lunch? Spike's brain ran in circles, trying to figure out what he really was asking. For lunch, as friends, right? Should I invite everybody else, like we talked about?
Spike gasped, not wanting to mess things up. Rarity had made it pretty clear the night before it was appropriate in her future, but now, no, Rarity said, shuffling one hub together. I really didn't intend to find anybody else. It'd be just you and me. It'd be us.
Us? Spike's heart hammered in his chest. You sure? Yes. Is that what you really want?
Rarity nodded. Yes, I've done some thinking and I realized what I thought I wanted. I told you last night, but it turns out it wasn't what I wanted after all.
Spike stared, not trusting himself to speak. This must be a dream. It has to be a dream.
Rarity took a hesitant step towards him. So, would you please do me the honor of accompanying me to lunch, just the two of us?
The library door flew open with a bang, and a pile of multicolored ponies collapsed in the doorway. Rainbow Dash managed to poke her head out first.
Rarity, are you asking Spike out on a date?
Rarity gasped at the Pegasus. Spike's heart beat faster than it had ever been before. He could feel his face go bright red.
Rainbow!
Twilight chastised. Using her magic to push every pony apart, climbed to her feet.
I told you to stop stuffing, but did you pay any attention?
No!
Well, it's not my fault that no pony would give me a clear spot to listen.
Rainbow Dash flew up, putting her hose on her hips. Were you all of you stopping at the door? Spike asked, narrowing his eyes. Twilight's eyes widened. Fireside's face went pink. Rainbow Dash got shitty-eyed. Vicky threw her hose over her mouth, and Applejack coughed.
I'll take that as a yes,
Rarity said sarcastically. Spike walked up to stand by Rarity's side, crossing his arms and glowering. Seriously, it's so nice to see how much of our friends respect their privacy.
Oh, come on. Who cares? You still haven't answered my question, Rainbow Dash said, pointing an accusing hoof at Rarity. Are you or are you not asking Spike out?
Applejack asked.
Rainbow's right. It's late and we're on business. Yes, Fireside agreed. I think it's best if we just leave quietly and... Hey, after everything we went through these two yesterday, I think we got a right to know if any of it worked. I'm with Dassy.
Twilight shook her head.
I have to disagree, Rainbow. Let's all just head back. And this time, stay far away from the door just to avoid no temptation. Yeah.
Spike looked up sharply. No, Spike panicked. Solved for the entire group disappearing as fast as possible, so he could get back to talking to Rarity. He couldn't shake the gnawing fear that everything he had been saying for was going magically forgotten by her. He couldn't go back to talking, and fast. Rarity, don't you think... Spike started.
It's fine, Spike,
Rarity continued. There's a small blush coming on her.
It shouldn't be a secret.
She looked up at every pony.
Rainbow Dash is correct. I was asking Spike out on a date.
Spike nearly faded then and there. Disbelief flooded out, quickly followed by waves of happiness crashing through his soul, like a sunshine after a storm. Rarity was... She's asking me... a date! His brain bellowed up faster than he could keep up.
But...
Rarity looked down at him, fluttering her eyelashes and furrowing her brow nervously.
You haven't gotten around to answering yet.
Spike kicked her. Rarity, of course I'll go to lunch with you. I'll do anything you want to. Did you really think I'd say no? Rarity's eyes melted in relief.
Well, that was everything I said last night. I was just,
Pinkie Pie's exploding party can cut out whatever Rarity's rest of the sense was.
Alright! Pinkie exclaimed gratefully. This calls for a brand new party!
Streamers flew about the library. Heart-shaped helium balloons covered the ceiling. Pinkie, where did you... What are you asking? Okay.
Who's with me?
Pinkie asked, him bumping a record player to start the music. Spike looked up at Rarity. She smiled tentatively as he smiled back. Everything else in the room became muffled to his eyes and ears except for her. Somewhere, he thought he could hear Twilight insisting Pinkie turn the music down. Applejack challenging Rainbow Dash to a popcorn eating contest. Rainbow Dash proclaiming Fireside as a judge, but barely many of that managed to actually register in Spike's head. All that mattered was the unicorn standing by his side. The unicorn who wasn't angry at him. The unicorn who wasn't ignoring him. The unicorn who didn't see him only as a friend. The unicorn who stolen his heart so long ago. The unicorn who was worth every moment he waited for her.
You know,
Rarity called to the other ponies, not taking her eyes away from Spike.
I think Spike and I might head to lunch a bit early. We have a few things we need to discuss.
Spike agreed more. He crumpled a refund postcard for How to Woo Your Lady in 9 Easy Steps, tossed it in his shoulder, and walked out the door with Rarity. And as Spike walked out, Pinkie Pie started up the trumpets, and
Spike just had to do one thing he could. Hit it! I thought love was true only in fairy tales. Meant for someone else, but not for me. Love was out to get me. That's the way it seems. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. But then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. A doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I could leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. But the more I gave, the less I got. Oh yeah. What's the use of trying? All you get is pain. When I wanted sunshine, I got rain. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. And not a trace. A doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer. I could leave her if I tried. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I wanted sunshine, I got rain. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. And not a trace. A doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh, I'm a believer. I could leave her if I tried. And then I saw her face. And now I'm a believer. Everybody! Not a trace. A doubt in my mind. Now I'm a believer. Yeah. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Oh, yeah. Review time. This fic was pretty fun. I know we don't always do romantic fics on here, but when we do, we tend to go all out. In a way, the story makes me think of a similar tale I read once in my childhood. That I can't find that book anymore. I don't know the title. But it's about this boy who kept messing up time and time again. He kept getting errors. He kept failing every which way but loose. So he decided to try and fix it. So he got this book about how to be perfect. And on the back of the book where he could see the author, he saw the author who was a grungy, messed up person, fat slob, who was anything less than perfect. Well, the boy was curious, so he started following steps throughout each of it. And we're talking weird steps. Wearing a piece of broccoli around your neck the entire for days, months. Doing other little things that seemed weird and insane, including, near the end, sitting down in one place and not dropping a glass of water. Afterwards, he had a dream about him accidentally spilling said glass and sitting in theater with everybody else doing the same thing he was doing. Well, when he woke up, he had spilled the water and fell asleep. That's why he read a book. And it said, are you kidding? You finally managed to reach the point. And guess what? You just realized the most important lesson. Being perfect is stupid. Do you know what perfect people do all day? They just sit around on their butts, not doing anything, because they're afraid that if they mess up, do that one little thing, they're going to mess up their perfection. So go, live in your imperfections, live with your flaws, enjoy your life, be happy about it. And that was a really great lesson, and it has stayed with me throughout all my life. And that's why I felt like this fic did. It kind of went the same route. Even to the point where Twilight was reading the book. Hell, I half expected that we get one last epilogue from the author, Smooth Fox, that said, hey, did you follow all the steps? Did you get your girlfriend? Well, if you didn't, of course you didn't. All of these steps, some of these messed you up, didn't they?
That's because there's no easy 9-step plan to woo your woman. There's no easy way to win her heart. What you need is a lot of effort, time, love, and compassion to woo your lady. That's how I got my wife. Heck, I even liked how we had Twilight do the same thing as the father in that book. Twilight read ahead in that book. The father did the same and even laughed, so he knew the lesson. Granted, was a great bit of foreshadowing now that I think about it. That book needs to be read more. And that's one of the things I liked about this plot, is that it did go with the romantic comedy route. We even had a 5-minute breakup. Something that always annoys me in romantic comedies, because we know that this comedy is supposed to go for a happy ending, so thus we know that the couple's going to get together. The thing is, what you have to do with that is to make it a little bit different and make it enjoyable. That's what this did here. Just got the 5-minute breakup out right away and actually showed some good effort. I also liked in a way Spike was completing the 9 steps, yet he wasn't. Hell, even the spend time away with her step, which I find kind of stupid or idiotic, and yeah, that's one quick way to get a hoof across the face, it still worked pretty well. I also liked how you basically did see Spike try to go with the steps, and yet having to feel some tastes of Twilight over common sense. Which, to tell the truth, I was with Twilight a lot of times in some of the certain steps, because what she said was common sense. I mean, one of the big things that Spike failed to realize was that he had already completed steps 1 through 4. He was already friends with Rarity. He already did nice things with her. He didn't really need to go any further than just saying, okay, let's move on. I also liked Rarity's side, as we got to see her deal with some of her emotions and some of her interesting conflicts. And a lot of it did feel like it came from the heart. Rainbow Dash didn't show too much, so I can't say too much about her, but then again, unless this is a Flutter Dash fic, I don't expect Rainbow Dash to be doing much on the romantic side. By the way, that book won me her heart! I also liked the Applejack being, well, again, the mayor of reason. And I also liked how the fic just was generally just fun and good, some good comedy and genuine heartwarming bits. I don't know, just a fun, simple little story to take your mind away. Tomorrow, we have one last fic before Christmas. And this one is gonna be fun. Take it, girls. So, did anybody notice Twilight was acting a little weird? Well, yeah, her face looked a little flushed. She's been looking at books lately, private ones. She's even been looking at you don't think Twilight's in heat, do you? Wait a minute. Does Twilight even know what it means to be in height? What do you mean? Well, the poor gal's kind of been an outsider for a while. You know what I mean. I don't know if her big brother ever gave her that talk. Well, maybe we could help her. Next time. Asterisk. Yep. We're going there. See you next time, boys.